Taking everything step by step, we had to start with prioritizing my tools for me in order to keep working, and I had to move on to making sure I didn't have to live out of boxes. So we then tackled my small closet, which I just posted last week. So the next thing on my list is an office space, because I clearly don't have that beautiful dream office that I DIY'd a little bit ago, but that is okay. I'm gonna be building a vanity/office combo to make it work. I have partnered up with my friends over at HelloFresh. We have partnered together for quite a while, so I'm excited to continue it and for them to just keep me going without even having to think about going to the grocery store, like on top of doing all these makeovers, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Fun fact, this is actually a subscriber tip from when I first started doing makeovers. I never cleaned my walls, and when I did, I used like a wet rag, and then you guys suggested wiping it down with either like a clean dry broom, which I do, and then I go back over with a Swiffer and a dry Swiffer pad, which you guys also recommended. So shout out to you guys. This wall, I believe, is meant for a TV because that plug up in the left-hand corner, but your girl doesn't watch TV. I Netflix in my bed while I fall asleep and drool uncontrollably. I know, super attractive. But since I don't need a TV and I'm not tripping on it, I wanted to turn this into my office/vanity. The reason I'm going to be DIYing a desk is because I just want something to specific measurements that I cannot find, and that is why I decided to DIY it and not buy. I swapped into some clothes that I didn't mind getting dirty because I'm going to be just patching up the wall with some joint compound. You guys asked me what I use to do this with, and this is a trick I learned from my dad, because when it dries, instead of having to sand it down or quickly come back and wipe it before it dries and it's like permanently on the wall, you can go in with some water and not compromise the texture of your wall and just fill that hole. That's why I use joint compound. If you couldn't tell already, I'm going the complete opposite color of my old bedroom. I just want a breath of fresh air, and like I said before with my small closet makeover, that Airbnb that I stayed in for my birthday, it just inspired me to design in a more fresh, minimal, funky way. And so I'm just gonna stick with the white and start to use wood as an accent, and you will see how everything is going to be tying together nice and cleanly. Don't get mad at me right now. I don't have my plans or my website live quite yet, but I will for this, I promise you. This is made out of one sheet of birch plywood, which costs $52. That's not bad whatsoever. We're gonna be using a pocket hole jig and pocket hole screws to put this puppy together. This is my basic layout for the desk initially, but that is going to alter through this video. And again, the measurements and everything is in the description box down below for you. I DIY'd the same basic shelf that I just did in my small closet to the larger cubby of this desk/vanity build situation. And then once everything was cut, sanded, wiped down, I just moved forward with assembly. The desk materials cost $73.91, and the decorating materials only costed me $21.93. So I did this entire little nook area for $95.84. Less than $100 considering I'm implementing things that I also owned. Like I mentioned before in last week's video, I have listed out the pricing, the materials, and where I got the decor down in the description box below, so open that on up. You can sort of start to see the shape of the longer, skinnier shelf where my legs would be going underneath, and then the larger cubby to the right hand side for all my storage start to come together here. And I was getting really excited because, as I mentioned before, the only other desk I have built any other larger furniture is honestly the desk for my dad in their office. And this build, start to finish, cuts and all, legitimately took me maybe a total of 6 hours. And that is not bad for shooting this entire thing, making sure I get the angles, and building it in one day. So it's a legit, really awesome weekend project if you want to bust it out. I continue using my speed square to finish out adding the bottom of that cubby before I'm able to add the bottom of the desk to the longer shelf. And then when I flip it back over, everything is nice and square, and we can move forward to adding the legs. I was going to add hairpin legs and be that broad, but this just took me in such a different direction once I saw it. I was very proud of myself and wanted to keep it nice, sexy, and chic, so I cut down 2-inch round dowels to 24 inches to ensure the desk is 30 inches tall, because I believe it averages like 29.8 inches for desk height, but don't quote me on that. I drilled down into the middle of each leg. There's actually only going to be 3, surprise, surprise, and I added some construction adhesive and a screw because I'm just gonna DIY it to screw it into the base of the desk and let that be the support that is needed to hold it up, because this plywood is super strong. It is not a long desk. It isn't gonna bow, so this is perfect. What a typical day looks like lately is legitimately building, organizing, and cleaning all day long, and then I will try to get my workout in the garage, but by the end of the day I'm exhausted and I really just don't even want to think about trying to make a healthy meal to keep my body going, because we're not letting this break my body. If you guys aren't aware, I have partnered with HelloFresh a bunch before. I absolutely love them. They save time and stress effortlessly, and their recipes are absolutely delicious. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and prepping, and I personally love it. I can just box up the other half for a meal prep the next day to keep me fueled. HelloFresh can also help you eat more sustainably. The packaging uses to ship your food is almost entirely made from recyclable and or already recycled content. Their carbon footprint is 25% lower than that of meals made from store-bought groceries, and the source of that is from University of Michigan. You can add extra dinners or lunches to your weekly order. You can throw in extra proteins or even compliments like HelloFresh's best-selling garlic bread if you're feeling frisky. HelloFresh has donated over 2.5 million meals to charity in 2019, and this year is stepping up their food donations amid the coronavirus crisis. HelloFresh is committed to making fresh, delicious food available now more than ever and has taken extra steps to keep its employees and customers safe. If you guys are interested in checking out HelloFresh, you can actually use my code METZ60 to get $60 off with purchase, including free shipping on your first box. Just go to HelloFresh.com for more details. I've also linked it down in the description box below. I measured and marked 3 inches from each side of the longer shelf where my legs are going to be underneath, obviously where the desk is higher. And then on the base of the cubby, I just found the middle, the exact middle, so it can balance perfectly, because I will be installing an 8-inch leg for the support on this side to add a fun design element to it. Now, as much as this desk to me looks like an intimidating build if I were to just be jumping into something like this is my second quote-unquote larger piece of furniture I've made, and it is way easier than I thought it was going to be, and it made me feel so capable to do other larger pieces of furniture for the new house that I'm living in. That was me just second guessing myself, seeing if I should make some cabinet fronts, but I opted to keep it open. I cut down a piece of plywood into a triangle to create a little triangle platter moment, if you will. I like to have everything on my desk, but I don't like it to look overwhelming. So I cut down these smaller wooden dowels to be a little bit taller than the hard drive that I use to edit all my footage, so it can have a little bit of a home there when I am using it. I put that together by just dabbing some wood glue onto the round dowels, letting that just tack and dry for a quick second, flipping it over and securing it with my nail gun. Okay, let's see if it fits. Sick. When I put it into place and realized it was the perfect sizing and I didn't have to change anything, that's when I removed it because I needed to paint that floor the same color I did my small closet, and edge banded the entire outside of the desk that you could see. I decided to keep it cohesive with the shelf brackets, carrying them over that we used in the closet to here. And I'm only going to use 3 because these are heavy duty. I'm using those anchors that I showed you before, the ones that you can adjust according to the size of your wall, like the depth of the drywall. I know it sounds weird, but there is different depths, and this just helps me always ensure that I have drywall anchors that are long enough for any type of wall I'm going to be installing it to. Once I had the brackets secured, I installed the wood that I was going to be using for the shelf, which is a 2x10 that I cut down to be a 2x9, so it was like flush to the wall on the back end, and I just liked the chunkier wood for the shelf versus like the thin ply that I've used before. Can we please take a second for how absolutely stunning the light is in my new room? I am every day blown away by the lighting, and I literally cannot stop telling Holly how incredible the sunsets are. So I just can't wait to show you the room makeover and shoot in this lighting, because it's such a vibe. I was originally going to do these cabinet fronts that I was installing linen to, but truth be told, I really just loved how clean this desk turned out that I didn't need to cover the front. I also feel like covering the front might just make everything feel a little bit more closed off, and I want this space, you'll see why, to feel very open. I am super pumped with how this office/vanity situation is coming together, and I also love the fact that I'm tackling my bedroom in phases. It really doesn't overwhelm me as much as trying to do an entire makeover and show you the entire process with 1,000,001 things. I feel like breaking it down is making it way more doable for everybody. I wanted to show you the reality of me taking my room in phases. Just this one wall is complete in my new room, but I am very excited with where this vibe is headed, and I cannot wait to show you the rest of it. I know I mentioned this was a vanity as well, but I haven't unloaded all my bathroom stuff quite yet, just the little things that I am using is currently living in the bathroom. But a little tip of what's in my storage right now are just my computer things, which I wrap the long cords with a 99-cent clip, which makes life a lot easier. That's just a little side note for you. This storage being open, I do think you want to have decorative, aesthetically pleasing things. For me, my one goal with this room is just making it look clean at all times and not making it look like there's just a bunch of stuff. So you just want to be smart with how you're storing all of your items. And don't you think I forgot, it is the end of the month and we are doing our donations. We're continuing to sign the petitions, but I have pinned my comment down below where we are donating this month and just giving you guys gratitude to pointing me in the right direction. And I can't wait to do it for next month. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a couple of really badass broads. Number one, Anja. This is the music that you are hearing in today's tutorial. She is incredibly talented. I have linked her down below for you. And as well as Chrisline, she has just changed the game for my banner and obviously my end card. She is just rebranding me, making me sexy and chic in my new chapter. And I just wanted to link both of them, give them credit where credit is due. So thank you, you beautiful boss broads. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for coming along the ride lately. I am just getting started. There is so much more to come and bigger and better things in the works, and I cannot wait to just share this chapter real time via tutorials with you guys. Building through a breakup. I'll see you guys soon for another DIY.